Good evening.
Hi everyone.
We're back with Walk the Talk.
It's been a busy
Holy
woo.
moly, we've missed you guys.
Heading into finals week. We started finals with our college students about 4 weeks ago.
No kidding.
Right after Thanksgiving.
And some of them just finished yesterday.
Yeah, it's been a rolling timeline of deadlines and endings. How y'all doing? Parents?
All you high school kids just finished your finals, I suppose, just about now. And if you're middle school, you had your end of semester projects happening. And hey, neighbors. So we just wanted to check in with you as we come to the close of the semester. Would have really loved to talk with you earlier, but here we are now.
Yes.
And let's talk about what's real for right now.
What is real for right now?
So our daughter came home, with these bittersweet kind of notes around, had some great successes in some courses, some surprising struggles in some others. And I just said to her just a few minutes ago, I was like, it is what it is. You made the effort. I watched her make her effort. I watched her put in extra time with her coach and with her teachers. And I can't be any more satisfied than that.
Yeah. We got some play-by-play communication, especially when it was like going her way, right?
Yeah.
And we also encouraged, hey, let us know when things are not going that great either. Even though it feels like you can't do anything about it anymore, and it feels like, a complete line in the sand and it's done, it's the ending. Well, in a way it is. It takes the pressure off. But in middle school and high school, and even sometimes in college, it's not the end.
Yeah,
right?
we're not resigned to what is so at this point. And you may be in a completely different place right now. You might be feeling like, wait a minute, there's something that's not right. There's something that's incomplete.
Yeah.
There's something I really would love to talk with the teachers about. And all I have is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or all I have is,
But you actually don't. You have more time.
Yeah. You as parents you're in the driver's seat. You're in control.
Yeah.
Okay. So keep in mind that while it may not be easy breezy, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And the conversation doesn't have to be over just because the semester has ended. So enjoy your break, enjoy your
break.
kids, and know that if the conversation is there a warranted conversation that needs closure from this semester, it can happen at the beginning
It
of
sure
the next.
can. So we have our endings and our beginnings. Acknowledge profusely right now.
Yeah.
Acknowledge the efforts, even if it was a Hail Mary last minute effort. Acknowledge it I'm wondering about not having all that pressure and stress at the end and how we might be able to do it differently. You can have what we at Just 2 do at this time of the season, which is a metacognitive conversation, right? Something where it's like, how could that have gone better in a curious way? You're asking open-minded questions. Could you describe how might you wanted to see that go?
Right.
Was there something that, if it happened this way, right? So that's a good way. And you can also we're done, and let it rest.
We've had some great reflective conversations with students just in the past week, one of whom shared with me they compared themselves to the hare and the tortoise and the hare. They acknowledged that they took about 2 weeks off fairly recently, and it created an enormous impact, an incredible backslide. And so, the student was able to own their own choices, their own behaviors, and we were able to support them in turning that around significantly as the student came back on board. We call this retiring early, and you may have seen this a little bit in your young people. Like they just decide that they're done. Semester says still 2 more weeks and finals are not over, but they've just decided they're shutting up shop. So that's something to watch out for in terms of patterns.
Yes. And parents encourage you to dedicate a space either on your phone, like a note app, or in a journal. Definitely get it out of your head so it's not building up there and compounding. As parents, we can do that and then just slam our kids with our thoughts when we get triggered. So reflect yourself, right? Just reflect on, how would I have parented and from Just Two's point of view, the executive functions, the actions, the doing, the way that your kid was being. How would I have done that differently? And what went well? What went well? You could even write down things that went well and give it to your kid, right? Your student.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a mom or dad of a college student and they're just coming home, right? And it's almost like the polls are closing, right? We just had that big election for the presidential election across the states, and it was like we were finger biting or watching the polls. It's kind of similar to what's happening right now, to where the grades are coming in, the last tests are being taken, right? And some won't be graded for another couple of days. So let it rest, reflect, acknowledge in a way that acknowledges the process, the journey, the how did we get here, in a really good way. You have an opportunity to do that, and you can also, when the time is right, talk about how do you want to see that go differently, okay? Here we have an ending, and a beginning is coming. Compound it with New Year's, and we're gonna feel somewhat of like a superhero, like, I can do this differently.
Yes.
It's coming, right? And it's how our culture does this when there's the turn of the year, right? It's an annual reset. You make your promises, and you're gonna do that thing, or you're going to lose that weight, or you're going to do better in school, whatever it may be. So that's coming, and it's an opportunity to kind of get on that bandwagon, but in a way that doesn't give us an artificial sense of it, but it gives us more of a let's get into reality. This is a pattern.
Building on what worked well.
Build on what worked well, but notice the patterns. And the way to notice patterns that aren't working is to reflect first, and then we can move into reset. And we will be here for you, parents and your students. We're running a promotion right now. Let us know if you're interested. It has a lot to do with accountability.
Right.
Essentially, imagine this in the new year. Sunday breakdowns at your house don't happen anymore. That's where we're going, right? And so we're gonna have really good accountability in place, group format as well as solo one-on-one, and then all your other good stuff that we do at Just Two with our one-on-one academic coaching and focus support. There we are. Hey,
I wanted to mention, I really appreciate all the comments and likes that we've been getting on our Walk and Talk. So let's keep those things going.
Yeah, thank you.
Really interested in your opinion. I'm getting some feedback from Google and Meta and the like. They're saying they don't like all the little filigrees and extra stuff I'm putting in. Well, I would like to know what you guys think about that. Is it necessary? Because it takes some time to do that, and I think it's cool.
Yeah.
But Google, Meta doesn't think it's cool at all. So
I think it holds an attention for sure.
I'd like to
our
think so.
Walk the Talks fun.
Yeah.
But
and I like doing it.
Let us know if you appreciate that, or if you're like, I just like hearing you guys talk.
Yeah.
And that's fine too.
We can stick with that.
We're gonna keep going with these Walk Your Talks in the new year. You'll probably see at least one. We're heading out of town to visit grandparents, and we'll have some time in a warmer state, warmer weather, and that will be real nice to rest and relax that way.
Yeah,
but you'll hear from us as we start to gear up into that New Year resolution time, and put it into a realistic step forward, right?
Yeah.
That's really what it's about. Accelerating in a way with a plan, with an understanding of, okay, this is what we do now so that tomorrow, next month, and the end of next semester goes the way I want it to, and with less stress, less surprises I don't want. And we start to get results in a way that really represents your student, your young person's intelligence, and their skill sets that they're moving into.
Yeah, and I also want to just talk quickly about, and we just mentioned some of us will be out of town for the break, and that's probably going to have its own general programming and that kind of thing. maybe you have your own family traditions when you're together. But what if you're not, together? What if you're just chilling at home? Like, that's the plan. We're having a staycation, and it's just the family. How do you avoid that? It's that part of the song that, like, and mom and dad can't wait for school to start again,
Yes,
that kind of
right.
thing, right? So, like, how do we have time for ourselves to recoup and have time to connect with our kids? Check out the blog that we wrote recently about how to connect with your kids over the holidays.
Yeah.
Right? Just a tiny bit of planning,
Yeah.
could really shake things up a little bit and allow you to sort of get out of the doldrums of just another day of hanging out in your PJs, which is great, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But at some point,
You might make a list.
the kids get squirrely, and
I'm
you're
all
like,
about lists, y'all. So you might make a list, soon. Don't do it in this like boring way, right?
Yeah.
Just be like, wow, I'm gonna start it, right? I'm gonna put it up in the
so
fridge,
holiday movies,
or I'm gonna send a Google Doc to my kid. or
maybe go
something,
bowling.
right? Just a couple of things. Maybe some people you want to see. Throw that on there. Here's another thing. When we wrote that blog about how to meet your kids over break, the New York Times backed us up.
That's right. Right after
With
that,
an article about bringing in the senses into your home without a lot of hubbub, without a lot of like having to do a lot of stuff.
Right.
And their recommendation was a little riff off of it, which is, go buy the frozen cookie mix, and get the wonderful cookie smell.
Yeah,
You don't have to do it from scratch,
Right.
parents.
throw
Take
frozen
that-
pie in the
Yeah, frozen pumpkin pie.
even
or
if you don't
whatever.
like pumpkin pie, it changes the smell of your
Yeah.
house.
And another thing is you could put cinnamon sticks in a pot of water and put it on your stove on low, right? Just make sure you have a timer on so it doesn't stay on and burn, right? So anyhow, get the senses going. Remember, if you were with us this semester or last, if you were with us at any time in sessions, we did a survey of how our young people, and if you're in parent coaching, how you yourself like to be cared for. What does it mean when it feels like you're being loved? And so one of those things that most of our teens and our young people tend to score high on is quality time.
Yeah,
Okay. And the next one is physical touch.
they want to be with you.
And they know that you want to be with them. So make that easier by maybe having some games out, having a list to choose from. You might label them 1 to 6 one day and say, all right, let's roll the dice and see what number we get.
Yeah.
Right? Have a game, play with
Puzzle.
it. So all in all, here we are at the end of a semester. We started our Walk Our Talks at the beginning of this semester. So thanks for going along with us.
Yep.
We are going to continue it. We're enjoying it, and we hope you are too. Let us know. Of course, you connect at Just Two Tutoring. And we'll be back around soon to talk about what's next. And we hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Celebrate yourselves. You put some time and energy and intention into wanting to be better parents, into wanting to support. You had that intention to support your young person to really grow into themselves and gain skills and to connect. That's really what it's about.
Yeah, thank you, parents. And being a parent, you don't get a lot of gratitude for that. So we're gonna say thanks for being great parents.
Yeah, we're
We're proud of
grateful for you. So at this point of the solstice season, find some rest. Rest in knowing the work is still there. Bless the work, right? And you took the time and you gave yourself a little bit of support, right?
Yep.
To do something differently. So may the solstice have a positive impact as the light returns, that you feel the light in you.
Embrace that magic.
Yeah, embrace the magic and be your best selves as we
It's like an
turn
Irish goodbye.
It is, as we turn the
We're just
season.
really stretching it out here, aren't we?
Irish goodbye, I love it. There are some beautiful lights over here and this gorgeous winter solstice sunset.
Yeah.
Let's just take a moment, parents. We call this the parent pause.